Are you interested in buying an antique home in Greater Boston? I love antique homes. In fact, I live in a Victorian, and while I am happy to sell my buyers new construction or anything in between, I recently had a YouTube question, can you find me an antique home? So I thought it would be fun today to look at a couple of different options in the Metro West area. I'll share some thoughts I have about each one as we go along. I'm Jane. I'm a realtor based in Wellesley, Massachusetts, and my channel is all about buying homes in the Metro West area of Boston. So please subscribe as we put out a new video each week featuring a different town or sharing what we hope is helpful information to inform your relocation to Boston. And if you are thinking about moving, please reach out. I would be delighted to talk with you and figure out how I can help you make your family's real estate dreams come true. Just to get some context, we're going to consider homes, while some people would say an antique home is anything more than 100 years old. For fun, we thought we would focus on homes built before 1900. So let's take a look. So we're taking a look at homes that were sold in around the summer of 2024. So the first house we're going to look at is 76 Eliot Street, which is located right in the heart of South Natick Center. Now, I've talked about Natick in some other videos, and Natick's a town of about almost 30,000 people. It has a bustling downtown, and then it also has this adorable South Natick Center, which is quite small, lots of historic buildings, and 76 Eliot Street was on the market for $750,000. It closed for $715,000. So it was on a 10,000 square foot lot. It was very close to the Charles River. So you might say, why did that house not sell at asking? Why did it take 179 days to sell? So let's take a look. So first of all, this is right on Route 16, which is Washington Street, which is a pretty major route. So this front door is about 10 feet from the road. The good news, in the backyard, you're overlooking the Charles, and the Charles is kind of down the bank a little bit, so it's not an area that I believe has had much issues with flooding. Of course, there's other neighborhoods near the Charles in South Natick that have had issues with flooding, but this is not one of them. But of course, in the photos, they don't want to show you how close it is to the road, but you can see this white car speeding by, so this house is pretty close to the street. But it does have, it's kind of long and narrow, it has a beautiful deck, it has a beautiful patio, and this is the river. I mean, it's just beautiful. What an amazing spot to live. So you can keep your kayak right under this beautiful tree. One of the things I always look for in antiques is, of course we want to see them updated, but we love to see that they kept some of the character and charm. But of course, I'll never complain when there's a nice new kitchen and some skylights popped in. Back in the day, they didn't put a lot of overhead lights in, for example, but they kept the charm. Here's some exposed brick on an original chimney, and they've opened it up. I'm guessing they took a wall down. This is kind of cool. They have this French door on a barn door slider. It's kind of cool. Light, bright, open, new kitchen, stainless appliances, skinny little bathroom. Definitely a smaller house, but what a great value. This was probably once upon a time a screened porch that someone enclosed. They've put heat out here so you can call it four season. And again, it has access to the deck and views out to the rear. I remember it was on and off the market for a while. I know it was under contract at least once. Upstairs, you're going to see these slanted ceilings, so you can't utilize all of the space. So sometimes the house doesn't live as large as the square footage might imply. And as you can see, this is another pretty narrow bathroom. So anyway, that sold for $715,000 in April of 2024, and it was 1,368 square feet. Now that would only include space that is heated. So that is something to consider. It doesn't include decks, patios, screened porches, or unfinished basements. Now we're going to travel closer to Boston to Newton, specifically in the Newton Highlands Village. So Newton, the city of 80,000, is made up of 13 unique villages. Some of them have more vibrant town centers than others. Newton Highlands has a lot of beautiful antiques near the center, and it has some other things it's very close to. It's right near this gorgeous new elementary school. It's got almost 9,000 square foot lot. So this is actually near the beautiful Zerva School, which is very new. Let's take a look. It's just under 1,900 square feet. There's a note in here that they did not include the third floor. First, I don't know why, but it's 3 floors of living space, which is pretty typical in a Victorian. So this sold in the spring of 2024 for just over 1.4 million. Super cute. This one's nicely set back from the street. Lots of detail on the shingling, which I love. I love these original doors. Once upon a time, an open porch that they've enclosed. This is what I love to see. I love to see that they've saved character and charm. So this This is a beautiful baluster or balustrade. I can never remember which word that is. On the staircase, nice detail, spindles, and they kept that door. And this is actually a parquet floor, just like, well, not anymore, but it used to be what was on the floor at the old Boston Garden, which has since been replaced. Lots of charm, and I like the natural gumwood on the doors. This is pretty typical of the floor plan, classic gracious entryway with big nice doors into the living room and then the dining on the other side, which I kind of blew right by. They kept this pretty tile on this fireplace. I might have put something up there for a little staging. Oh, there we go. There's a nice orchid. And here's another shot of that beautiful wood burning fireplace. Now this kitchen's a little more dated, but for Newton, this is very nice condition to find a house under 1.5 that is, not recently updated, but certainly very serviceable. So and this is where we get into the good stuff. This bathroom has not been updated in a long time, and I particularly like these groovy soap dishes that have some kind of tile pattern on them. I love the way they have these beautiful windows designed, kept the trim. Pretty spacious rooms. Nice tall ceilings. That is one thing about Victorians. Here's the other bath, which has a tub surround. So again, any money you spend here in Newton, you would get back, in my opinion, when you sold. So this is a home for someone who appreciates the character of an older home, is willing to do some cosmetic updates in the kitchen and baths. So let's just motor through and see. And then look, a very nice backyard as well. And this is near Crystal Lake, so there's a lot of great things about this house. Before we leave Newton, we're going to take a look at another home in the Auburndale Village. Now, an important thing to know is that Auburndale backs up to the Mass Turnpike. I always make sure people are aware of where the major routes are when we're looking at homes. But these Victorians, a lot of them are in a walk to Starbucks location, but Auburndale has a pretty small town center. It's not one of the sexier ones, for lack of a better word. This is a beautifully maintained 1895 Victorian. Again, you can see it's an in-town, close to town location. So you're pretty close to your neighbors. But you have to remember Newton is a city. So again, you'll notice things like there's no recessed lights here. I can tell you as a contractor's wife, that is something that is not too expensive to install. That is a great way to get more light in these old Victorians, which just generally don't have a lot of lights. And this sold for 1.2, and a nice window seat in the dining room, beautiful chandelier with a medallion, a nicely updated kitchen. So from the looks of it, this was probably done about 25 years ago. Absolutely very serviceable. And this is a great price for a nice neighborhood in Newton. And I like Auburndale. I've sold some homes there. I even like this wallpaper. I think this is great fun. Wallpaper is back. Oh, this is kind of a fun feature. This is a stained glass window, which is great because it gives you light and privacy. And I'm not going to swear that this light fixture is original, but it certainly looks like it could be. So a nod to the past. So anyway, that's a cute little house in Newton at 6 Orris Street, which closed for $1.2 million. Okay, now we're taking a trip to the center of Wayland, 67 Old Sudbury Road, which sold for $860,000. Now, it was on over an acre of land, and it's right in the town center. So you might say, sounds like a really good deal. But this house is not for the faint of heart. It was built in 1850. It's 4,100 square feet. There is a 4-bedroom septic that is relatively modern. That's the good news. And there's a beautiful porch overlooking a nice backyard. It's near lots of trails, but I think it's important to show you on the map. A historic part of the center of town is right here. This is a major route. Gleason's pretty busy. There's a health club over here. There's a mall over here, right here. This is actually not an updated map. There's actually a big development of townhomes and restaurants and a supermarket here. So you're in the heart of it, and this house needs everything. This would not be for the person who wants charm and character. This is someone who wouldn't be daunted by a major project. It does have over an acre of land, which is great. Beautiful exposed beams. The listing also says they might leave some stuff behind, and they have this beautiful collection of white glass. Who knows if that was what got left behind when it finally closed. But it's got these cool wide beams. Again, no overhead lights. You noticing a theme? Nice big porch with sliders, which is a 3-season porch. Just want to get you to the kitchen because it's beautiful, but not for everybody. And then it does have a lot of original brick. It's not terribly functional the way it's laid out. It has this chimney here. Somebody could easily spend $500,000 updating this house. Oh, look, they virtually staged it, add hardwood. That's what it could be. And then same thing, they virtually staged a bedroom. These ceilings are also not as high. Obviously they did update the bathrooms at some point. Whenever you see those Hollywood style light fixtures, I think that's very 70s. Lots of it has 3 bedrooms and 3 full baths. This room is an extension, which has an old wood stove. So super cute. Unless someone's looking for something that needs a lot of work, I would not have put this on the schedule. But that recently sold for $860,000. And Wayland has fantastic schools, highly rated. Perennial favorite. So it is a great community. The next house we're going to talk about is in my hometown of Wellesley at 225 Walnut Street. And I've actually talked about this in other videos featuring homes that I thought were sold for a really great value because I just felt sorry for this house. I tried to sell it to a couple different buyers. I thought it had so much potential, so much character, and it sold for $1.3 million. It was lots of space, 3,400 square feet. It was built in 1899. It had a third of an acre. It's very close to town. It is a busier road, but there's these walking trails behind it. You're very close to the recreation center where kids can go to summer camp. And it was pretty updated. I just thought, and it started over almost 1.7. So I just thought this house just had some bad luck. It almost was set up so you could make it into an easy 2-family. The kitchen was obviously a little bit dated. I thought it had potential. And I love these old maple cabinets. You just update the countertops, the appliances, and the hardware, and the floor, and I think it would be a totally different vibe. It also did not have a garage, but there was room to add one. And then they used this little side, what was probably a porch at one time, became a room. Okay, this picture's not doing them any favors. And nice bedrooms, 3 floors of living space. This bathroom was all updated. They had done some work and spent some money on it. And then here's the lower level. So vinyl plank flooring throughout, fireplace that no one will ever use, but it's always, you can put a candle in there for a little decor, and a bathroom down here. That's where your laundry is on the lower level. So here's the nice big yard. There were a couple different options of where you could put a garage, but it did finally sell, and I'm sure it's going to be a great house for some lucky family. So there you have 5 antique homes that sold in 2024 for under $1.5 million in the Metro West area of Boston. So I thought this was kind of fun. What did you think? Would you be interested in seeing more antique homes? Or is there another style you'd like me to investigate? Please leave it in the comments. Thanks as always for watching.